Hello. This is a single-blind randomized control trial to evaluate the role of homeopathic similimum in modifying anger in patients of mild to moderate essential hypertension and thereby reducing their blood pressure against standard care treatment for hypertension. 25% of the world population suffers from hypertension. It is the largest single contributor to global mortality. In untreated cases, life expectancy reduces to 50 to 60 years compared to 71 years in the population at large. 95% cases of hypertension are essential hypertension, also known as primary or idiopathic hypertension, where no cause can be pinpointed. This diagram depicts Dr. Page's mosaic theory, suggesting the interaction of genetic susceptibility and environmental factors responsible for the development of hypertension. It is among the 7 psychosomatic disorders where psychological factors like anger, anxiety, and depression plays a major role in development. Anger is the most basic emotion, varying from mild irritation to intense fury in response to feeling frustrated or threatened or hurt. It has 3 components: physical fight or flight response, cognitive angry thoughts, behavioral anger expressed verbally or physically, or just withdrawal. Anger is a very interesting emotion, but it is least understood. Moreover, it is just a tip of the iceberg. There are often other emotions like embarrassment, guilt, fear, rejection, frustration, etc., hidden underneath. Unfortunately, it is also highly misunderstood according to current diagnostic practices. For example, in DSM-5, there are no axis 1 disorders that directly address the emotion of anger, unlike anxiety and mood disorders. Anger is a critical variable in essential hypertension. Unresolvable anger causes prolonged sympathetic nervous system overactivity, and anxiety and guilt of consequences of expressing anger results in its suppression. In vulnerable individuals, neural mediation of repetitive high blood pressure episodes causes structural adjustment in arterioles, culminating in sustained hypertension. Anger could be contributing to the elevation of blood pressure directly through psychophysiological activation and indirectly by facilitating the emergence of a coping style that contributes to the maintenance of elevated blood pressure. Can anger be quantified? Yes. Psychologists have developed different types of scales that measure anger and its component that gives a fair idea of a person's state of mind and coping mechanism that initiate the hyper response of the cardiovascular system in terms of raised blood pressure. STAXI 2, that is State Trait Anger Expression Inventory 2, is one such scale that is used for our study subjects. With the advances in technology, radiological and biological measures like functional MRI are also developed to visualize and measure changes in parts of the brain brought about by anger. Dr. Hahnemann has described 3 causes of chronic diseases: fundamental, maintaining, and exciting. He has also instructed to give the highest importance to mental symptoms while selecting a remedy for chronic ailments like hypertension. This is our research question, whether there is a relationship between components of anger and hypertension among our patients coming to the OPD, and does homeopathic medicine have a safe and effective role in curing this problem. This is the consort diagram of our randomized control trial explaining the methodology. We screened around 350 patients of essential hypertension. Secondary causes were ruled out by checking routine biochemistry, abdominal ultrasound, ECG, and X-ray chest. 172 patients, 108 males and 64 females between 18 to 65 years who gave their informed voluntary consent were enrolled in the study as per the ethics committee approval. By simple randomization, they were allocated their respective group, that is placebo and intervention. More than 50% of patients in both groups were already on antihypertensives at the beginning of the study. All the patients were given necessary lifestyle management advice and suggested a diet to reduce hypertension and regular exercises. Thorough homeopathic case taking was done, and Staxi 2 scale was applied at the beginning and at the end of 6 month study period to measure change in anger for all the patients. Regular follow-up was done every 2 weeks to check the subjective and objective parameters of all the patients. The data collected was entered in MS Excel and then transferred to SPSS software version 21 for analysis. The quantitative data were represented as mean plus or minus standard deviation and compared using students' t-test. In addition, a Pearson correlation test was performed to find correlation between variables. So these are the results. This table shows the analysis of different variables done at the end of study period 6 months in the intervention arm. You can see except state anger and its subgroups, all other anger variables and systolic and diastolic blood pressure have a statistically significant reduction with the p-value less than 0.001 with 95% confidence interval. This slide shows the values in both the arms, and you can see that the intervention arm, the reduction is much more than the control arm. In both arms, as you know, the patients were on standard antihypertensives. So in control arm, 98% of patients continued with the same dose of their medicines at the end of the study period. However, whereas in the intervention group, standard antihypertensives were stopped in 33% of patients. In 28% of patients, the dose was reduced. And at the end of study period, in both the arms, the patients who were not on antihypertensives, in control arm, 16% patients had to be prescribed standard antihypertensives. Whereas in the intervention arm, the BP of all patients were maintained on similimum. The group analysis of the family history of hypertension in female participants suggests that women with a positive family history of hypertension scored higher on trait anger and angry temperament. You can see in red, the p-value is significant. Their outward expression of anger compared to participants having negative family history of hypertension. This correlates with high blood pressure values in them. Even men with a positive family history of hypertension have higher trait anger and angry temperament, but tend to suppress their outward expression of anger compared to participants with negative family history of hypertension. This slide shows the list of associated ailments these patients had, along with essential hypertension like diabetes, gastrointestinal reflux disease, hypothyroidism, and so on. At the end of the study period, 89% of the patients had relief in the symptoms of their comorbidities in the treatment group. But 73% of patients' symptoms of associated illness were status quo in the control arm. This is the USP of our homeopathic treatment. Then we ran a Pearson correlation test to determine whether there is a linear correlation between anger variables and systolic and diastolic blood pressure. And in this study, like many others in the past, we could not find a significant linear correlation. This is the list of homeopathic remedies used in the intervention group as similimum. So in conclusion, our results suggest the usefulness of the homeopathic similimum in the management of the anger and the essential hypertension in the population. We found significant correlation of the high blood pressure with the suppressed anger in both the male and female participants having positive family history of hypertension. Convincing evidence did not emerge for the existence of a strong linear relationship between the anger and the blood pressure. This study brought to our notice that health-related consequences of anger have not been sufficiently studied. It also revealed that psychosocial stress resulting in anger leading to risky health behaviors, which was highly prevalent and significantly associated with the disorder. Limitations: this study needs replication with larger sample size over longer duration. Presence of social desirability bias cannot be denied in self-reporting scale such as TAXI-2, which is used in our study. Ambulatory blood pressure monitoring not used, so there can be misdiagnosed cases of white coat hypertension or cases of masked hypertension could have been missed. A double-blind randomized controlled trial without using conventional antihypertensives is highly recommended. Thank you. This is our study.